Hello everyone, welcome to Encode Decoded. Today we are here to discuss one of the most important topics in any programming language, that is all about loops. Before that, we need to know about flow control. Flow control is an order in which the statements or instructions of a program are executed. This could be done by using three different statements: conditional statements, iterative statements, and transfer statements. In conditional statements, the flow should be controlled with some conditions. If you haven't watched conditional statements video, I would recommend you to watch. In iterative statements, the flow should be controlled with the loops such as for, while, and do while. These will help to repeat a particular task or a block of code. And transfer statements. With these statements, we can transfer the flow. For example, like we can stop or pause. The statements are break, continue, and pause. Let's start our session with iterative statements. As we discussed earlier, these statements will allow us to repeat a particular task that would be done in three different types of loops: for loop, while loop, and do while loop. You may have doubt like when to use for loop, when to use while loop, and do while loop. Both will iterate until the condition becomes false. The for loop will be used when the user knows how many times he has to iterate the loop. While loop will be used when the user is not aware of number of iterations to perform. And do while is similar to while loop. But here, this loop will execute the block at least once. In Python, we do not have inbuilt do while loop. Let's get into the topic for loop. We can make use of this for loop in two different ways. First one, iterate elements in a sequence up to last element, and iterate a loop with a range function. Let's iterate the elements in a sequence up to last element. Here it is the syntax for iterating the element in a sequence up to last element. For where initerable followed by statements. Here where equals to variable name, and iterable is collection of objects, for example like list, string, set, dictionary. Let's take examples to understand this concept. Let's take string as an iterable. Here variable name, that is channel, equals to value, that is encode decoded. For I in channel, print I. If I am going to run this, we will get output as character by character in a new line. Now I just want to print the entire string or characters in a single line with space. So we are going to make use of end equals to space. And so we got the output in a single line with space separation. Now take list as an iterable. Here I am going to consider languages as a variable and value equals to an array of C, Python, Java. Now I just wanted to print every language from this list, so that for language in languages, print language, and equals to space, so that I can get output in a single line. Let's run this and see the output. In the same way, we can iterate the tuple, set, iterables. The one difference is in list, we have enclosed with square brackets. For tuple, we have to enclose with parentheses. For set, we have to enclose with curly braces. Now, dictionary. This iterable contains the objects in key value pair. Okay, let's create a dictionary. D equals to same as set, we are using curly braces to enclose it, and we have to mention the key and value pair here, so that I will make use of keys and values respectively, like 1 colon C comma 2 colon Python comma 3 colon Java. As we know that here we have two different values in a pair, keys and values. So in order to access only keys, then you can go with d.keys of. Here d refers to variable name that we are assigning it to dictionary. For k in d.keys of, print k. Hence we will get the output as the list of keys. If you want to access values, then go with d.values of. For k in d.values of, print k. Then we will get output as the list of values only instead of keys. If you just want to access both of them, then go with d.items of. For k in d.items of, print k. Then we will get the pair of keys and values in a tuple, 1 comma C, 2 comma Python, 3 comma Java as tuple pair. Now I just want to access keys and values separately from the dictionary, so that we will make use of another variable called v. So for k comma v in d.items of, so here k refers to keys and v refers to values in a dictionary. Then we will get output as 1 C, 2 Python, 3 and Java. These loops are not only used for just printing. We can do many things while iterating. For example, I just want to add all numbers in a list and return sum. For that, let's take variable name called nums equals to, I just want to make use of list as iterable here. For that, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 are the elements here. Initially sum is 0. Now we are going to iterate the numbers in a list. For that, for num in nums, so I just wanted to access number one by one from the list and add it to sum, so that s equals to s plus num. And finally, after iterating the entire list, we will get sum of all numbers in a variable called sum. Let's print it. Here we can see, we know that sum is initially 0. For first iteration, it will be 0 plus 1, that is 1. For next iteration, 1 plus 2, that is 3. Then 3 plus 3, 6. 6 plus 4, 10. 10 plus 5, 15. Finally, we have the value in S as 15. Let's run this and see the output as 15. Now it's time for second way of using for loop. That is, iterate a loop with range function. Here it is the syntax for this. For where in range, here we have 3 arguments like start, stop and step, and followed by statements. Here where equals to variable name as we previously discussed, and here start as an argument which will tell from where we start. Next stop, this will tell where to stop, and step, it is the step value, either it will be increment or decrement. These 3 arguments have default values. For start, it is 0, and for stop, stop minus 1. For example, if your stop value is 5, that would be iterate until 4, and the step value is 1. Let's take an example. Here num equals to 5 for I in range of num. So it will tell that here we are not mentioning the 3 arguments, and we know that the 3 arguments default values. The start value is 0 and the stop value, here it is num. Stop value equals to num minus 1, that is num equals to 5 minus 1, that is equals to 4, and the step value is 1, that would be incrementing. Let's print this. Then we will get output as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the stop value, right? Let's take another example, that is num equals to 10. For I in range of 2, 8, 2. Hence we know that start equals to 2 here, stop equals to 8 minus 1, that is 7, and step value is 2. So in first iteration, the I should be start from 2, and in second iteration that would be 2 plus 2, that is 4, and third iteration it would be 4 plus 2, that is 6, and fourth iteration it would be 6 plus 2, that is 8, which is not in the range, and we have to stop the loop. Let's print the numbers in reverse order. For that num equals to 10 for I in range of num, 0, minus 1. Here start equals to 10 and stop equals to 0 plus 1, that is equals to 1. Up to 1 we will print it. And step value equals to minus 1, because here the start value is 10, which is greater than the stop value. So let's print this. Then we will get output as 10, 9, 8 up to 1. Here we need to follow 2 rules. Those are, if start less than stop, then the step value must be positive. If the start value greater than stop, then the step value must be negative. Then only we will get iterate the loop, otherwise it won't execute. It will be never executed. Let's say a few examples with this invalid step value. Here I am considering num equals to 10, and for I in range of 1, num, minus 1. Here the start value is 1, that is start value less than num, that is 10, 1 less than 10. So as we know that the step value must be positive, here we are considering as minus 1. So it will never execute this block, because the step value will decrementing, not incrementing. Let's take another example, num equals 10 for I in range of n, 0, 1. Here the start value is 10 and the stop value is 0. So 10 greater than 0, then the step value must be negative. But here we mentioned that positive, so this for block will never execute. Let's take another example to display a multiplication table of a number. For that, let's take an input, num equals to int of input of enter number for I in range of 1, 11. Here the start value is 1 and the stop value is 11 minus 1, that is 10, and the step value by default it is 1, and this statement will helps to display the multiplication table. Let's run this. That will ask for the user to enter the number. Let's enter 5, hence we can see the output as multiplication table for 5, and run again and enter the 9, and here we can see the output as multiplication table for 9. Now it's time for while loop. It is used to execute the statements repeatedly until the condition becomes false. Here it is the syntax for while loop. That is, while condition or expression followed by statements. Let's understand this concept by exploring some examples. For that, while true, print high. It will go into infinite loop because it will never be false. We are mentioning the condition value that is true. If the condition is true, the loop will execute every time. It will stop if and only if the condition was false. So let's make this as false. As we know that some false values which are 0, empty set, empty list, empty string, and boolean value false. So while 0, print high. This will never execute because the condition is false. And after the while block, after the while loop, we are going to print some statements like while. This will execute. Now I just wanted to print encode decoded in 3 times. For that, num equals to 3 while num print encode decoded. This will also go into infinite loop because every time the condition should be 3, which is nothing but true. So make the condition false when we satisfied with the iterations. For that, num equals to 3 while num greater than 0, print encode decoded. Num equals to num minus 1. Here we are decreasing the num value every iteration. It will decrease by 1. Hence print encode decoded 3 times. Initially the num value is 3. So first iteration num equals to 3, that is 3 greater than 0, true. In second iteration num value is 2. In third iteration num value is 1. And in fourth iteration num value is 0, that is 0 greater than 0, which is nothing but false. So stop that while loop. We can also achieve this concept by incrementing the value. For that, num equals to 1 while num less than or equal to 3. Then print encode decoded and update the condition, which is update the num value is num equals to num plus 1, increment by 1. The best example for this while loop is guessing a correct code. Here we will consider the secret number that user don't know, and then we are going to ask the user input until the user matches with secret code. If it matches, then return verified. For that, let's take variable name called secret code equals to abc123 as secret code and ask for the user input initially. User underscore input equals to input of enter code while secret code not equals to user input. That means iterate until matched and print try again and again ask for the user to enter the secret code. If the user matches, then print verified, that is print verified. It will display once user enter the correct code. Let's run this. Let's give input as ABC. There will get try again and enter code ABC321. Here also false. So it will ask again try enter code. For that, so ABC123. Here it is matched and then it will return verified and stops that loop. If you have any questions or notes about the topic, please don't hesitate to leave a comment below. Thank you.